of it. Today, St. Paul reminds us that we must strive eagerly for the greatest spiritual gifts, the greatest of these being love. As we have come to know through lived experience, love is a verb more than a feeling, a poem, or a country western song. It requires us to act, to be of service to others rather than be served. Throughout my priesthood, the parishes that make up the Diocese of New Ulm have had to address the challenges that come with the shortage of priests. It has meant the closing of some parishes and the merging of all the other parishes into what we call area faith communities, where resources, staffing, and priests are shared. The shortage of priests continues to be a great challenge for us. We need to pray for more priests and invite our young people to consider a vocation to the priesthood. But today's homily is not about the shortage of priests. Today I would like to talk to you about an even greater challenge that we currently face in our parishes. It is the shortage of people. Over several years, and especially with the arrival of COVID 2 years ago, our parishes have seen a decline in weekend Mass attendance and parishioners willing to serve in volunteer ministries. The shortage of people in our pews on the weekends is something we all need to be concerned about. We need to continue praying for and inviting those we know to join us for worship. It's important that we share with our family members, co-workers, and our friends who don't attend church on a regular basis what we experience and what we enjoy about attending Mass and why it is so important to us. Hopefully, this will inspire them to consider coming back. But today's homily isn't about those who aren't in our pews here today or on other weekends. Today's homily is about you. Those of you who faithfully come and attend Mass each and every week. The greatest threat to our way of life, and by way of life I mean our ability to gather, to sing, and to pray at Mass each weekend, is the shortage of volunteers. People eager and ready to carry out the many liturgical roles that allow our worship to be life-giving, roles that rightfully belong to you. We need you. I use the word we because just as it takes a village to raise a child, it also takes an entire parish to celebrate Mass. Now, with the arrival of COVID and our churches being shut down for nearly 3 months, we were required to improvise and to find new ways to celebrate Mass with a skeleton crew of people coming in to record it, and so that all of you could be part of it remotely, of course, during that time. Even after we were able to gather again in person for worship, we still had to do things differently here at Mass in an effort to keep everyone safe. This led us to not being able to pass the basket while taking up the collection, not having altar servers, just to name a few of those changes. While we needed to do this for our safety, it did create a new trend, a trend I like to call COVID complacency. Now, this complacency is not freely chosen, but unconsciously it has happened to all of us, where we came to experience and thus eventually expect that since Father and a few others were able to manage without our help during COVID, then we should be able to function this way moving forward. My friends, nothing could be further from the truth. Our parishes and this area faith community need your help. The plan and the hope is that with the first Sunday of Lent this year, which is the first weekend in March, that we will resume all of our ministries at every Mass in each of our parishes, with the exception of communion from the cup. However, the current number of volunteers that we have to serve as ushers, altar servers, Eucharistic ministers, song leaders, choir members, lectors, soundboard technicians, etc., is at an all-time low. Due to there being fewer children and youth available to assist as altar servers at Mass, we are needing to open this ministry up to adults as well. Due to our low numbers, many of our current volunteers are having to carry out these ministries several times every month, which is not fair to them. Ideally, there should be enough volunteers in each ministry so that one person only needs to be assigned to help out once every 4 to 6 weeks. This weekend, we are asking you to prayerfully consider how you can help our parish by volunteering to help with at least one of the many liturgical roles that we need at every Mass. Most of you are here every weekend already, and so having to exercise a ministry while you are here is not a big ask. You are simply being asked to share a bit of your time while you are here, so that our celebration of the Mass becomes an experience that inspires more and more people to want to be here with us as well. Throughout the month of February, we will be conducting training sessions for each one of these ministries. This training will be for those already serving in these ministries as a refresher for them, as well as for the new volunteers needing to learn how to do this ministry for the very first time. There are several ways that you can sign up to help out and to volunteer for these different ministries. Today you can stop in the gathering area after Mass and fill out the form and leave it with us before you go home. Or you can fill out the form that is part of this weekend's bulletin and bring it back with you next weekend when you come to Mass and place it in the collection basket. Or thirdly, you can go online to our area website and register there. The deadline to sign up to volunteer is February 13th. This deadline is in place so that by the middle of February we can notify all those involved to let them know of the dates and the times when the training will be conducted in each of our parishes. We are at a critical moment in the life of each of our parishes. You are needed now more than ever. Again, our greatest threat to our way of life, that is, having multiple Masses continue in each of our parishes, is no longer because of not having enough priests, but because now we don't have enough people to help us worship and pray. To all of our current volunteers who serve in one of the many liturgical roles, thank you. You have generously responded and helped us out during this very challenging and difficult time, and we are grateful for you. To the rest of you who are gathered here today, thank you for coming and for making the celebration of Mass a central part of your weekend experience. Your faithfulness is also greatly appreciated. But now we also need your help. Your yes will enable us to carry on and to share with others the greatest spiritual gift: love.